We are meeting in the midst of a grave crisis facing our country. Most of the world says that we are no longer a democracy. Independent institutions like the Variety of Democracies Institute of the University of Gothenburg at Sweden, Freedom House, Economist Intelligence Unit, none of them treat India as a democracy anymore. They call it a flawed democracy, partial democracy, and the University of Gothenburg Varieties of Democracy says that we are actually an autocracy now, an electoral autocracy. So it's no longer a situation where we are trying to protect our democracy. Our democracy has been lost to us. We are not in a democracy. Very important for us to realize this. Very important for us not to imagine that we are in a democracy, because then we will not react in the right way. We are not any longer in a democracy.
Under the rule of the Bharatiya Janata Party in India, many observers contend that democratic values have gradually weakened. Although regular elections continue to take place, the broader functioning of democracy is seen as increasingly restricted. Political opposition faces sustained pressure, key institutions appear less independent, and media freedom along with civic space has narrowed. In social life, rising polarization and intolerance have further constrained pluralism, open debate, and the free expression of dissenting views, raising serious concerns about India's democratic trajectory.
You see, Asaram Bapu, a rapist, a convicted rapist was given bail. Why? Because he's old? No, he's old. But then there was another man called Father Stan Swami. Father Stan Swami was an 83-year-old man who was arrested in alleged involvement in the Bhima Koregaon case. And he had to wait. He had to wait for a straw and a cup, because he had Parkinson's disease. So he couldn't even drink water. So a straw would help him to drink water. He had to wait for a week to get that straw. He died in the jail. He was not old. Asaram Bapu is old. Asaram Bapu got bailed, this man didn't. Asaram Bapu was a convicted rapist. Father Stan Swami was under trial. What is the difference? Asaram Bapu had a lot of people who were his followers in the power. Father Stan Swami had nobody. So what am I to believe with all this? And I want to ask you this question. What am I to believe with all this? Is the right-wing follower under some other judicial system, left-wing followers under some other judicial system, some other law to the right wing, other law to the left wing? Is that how it works? Is that how it works? You see, a journalist from Kerala, I have interviewed him. In fact, if you have the time, please do go watch that interview. It's a very interesting interview. I had interviewed him. His name is Siddiq Kappan. 846 days. 846 days he was in jail. Now this case is very interesting. You see, Kappan was accused of sedition. Kappan was charged under the anti-terror law, UAPA, and ED had filed a money laundering case against him, accusing him of receiving money from the PF, that is a banned group from Kerala. Now, you know what? This man, Siddiq Kappan, received 5,000 rupees. You see, he was arrested 2020. He was given a bail 2021, but that bail was not actually executed. Why? That PMLA case was brought in. And like I said, 846 days he was behind bars. Then there's another journalist. That journalist's name is Arnab Goswami. He was arrested. The Supreme Court opened their doors on Sunday for him. They had a special bench sitting and hearing his case on Sunday, where the judge said, bail is the rule. Bail is the rule. Jail is the exception. So they said, Sunday kya hua? So what? Any day, Sunday they came, they sat there, they heard him, and finally they gave him bail.
Social and legal spheres, growing concerns have been raised by members of the judiciary and legal profession regarding the integrity of the judicial system. Critics claim that the judiciary has become increasingly vulnerable to systematic corruption and political interference, leading to distortions in the delivery of justice. As a result, public confidence in the judicial system has significantly declined. Many citizens perceive that decisions are influenced by corrupt and inadequately qualified political leadership rather than constitutional principles and the rule of law. This erosion of judicial independence and accountability is viewed as a serious threat to justice, democratic governance, and social trust. In a democratic system, political leaders are entrusted with the responsibility of guiding society towards stability, progress, and collective well-being. For such a system to function effectively, leaders must possess not only formal education but also wisdom, ethical judgment, and a strong sense of responsibility. Education equips leaders with knowledge of governance, law, economics, and social dynamics, while wisdom enables them to apply that knowledge with fairness, foresight, and empathy. When political leaders lack essential leadership qualities, such as integrity, competence, and vision, the consequences can be deeply disruptive. Ineffective leadership often results in poor decision-making, weak institutions, and a loss of public trust. In such conditions, governance becomes inconsistent, policies lack coherence, and the overall system begins to experience instability. Without capable leadership, democratic structures may deteriorate, leading to confusion, conflict, and administrative breakdown. A democracy thrives when its leaders are qualified and guided by informed judgment. Conversely, if individuals who lack education and wisdom hold positions of power, the system risks drifting toward disorder. Poorly informed decisions can trigger economic mismanagement, social divisions, and weakened civic structures. As the system falters, citizens bear the greatest burden, facing uncertainty, reduced opportunities, and diminished quality of life. Ultimately, the strength of a democratic society depends largely on the competence and character of its leaders. Education and wisdom are not merely desirable traits, they are foundational requirements for responsible governance. Leaders who lack these qualities may unintentionally contribute to instability and decline. Therefore, for democracy to remain healthy and resilient, it is essential that those entrusted with leadership roles embody knowledge, wisdom, and the ability to serve the common good with clarity and integrity.